Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Playing in the hardcore Legacy League as a solo self-found Ice Shot Deadeye. And today we're gonna run our first Tier 2 map. It's going to be the Ghetto. And we will have many totems and we will be gaining less flask charges. Before we dive in though, I've been doing some dailies, been doing some dried lake runs, and I did find a couple of upgrades and I made a couple of small changes to the passive tree. So first of all, we now have a Zodiac ladder. That's the highest evasion base armor that you can get. And it has a level 65 requirement, so you can get it in dried lake pretty easily. I applied a tier 5 Essence of Greed to this in order to get a 90 to 99 life roll, so that rolled nicely with 95 life. And we got lucky with 2 40 plus elemental resistance rolls, as well as base evasion, as well as the evasion stun block recovery hybrid roll. And that was just really good. I mean, we went from 700 evasion to nearly 1500. And I crafted lightning resistance on top in order to balance things out. So across the board, our resists went up, our life went up, our evasion went up. This was just it would have been pretty difficult to roll a better armor than this one. High base lightning would have been good, and maybe a pure evasion rating rather than a hybrid rating. Those are small things that could have been different, but this is pretty godly for a dried lake item and a single essence. So one of the other things that in the builds, of course, we were for a long time while leveling, we were using all the mana leech nodes. So we had Spirit Void, we had the mana leech over here, and we had the hybrid node. It was always my plan to unspec these 2 points, so we would be running with only the 0.4 of attack damage leached as mana from the hybrid node here. That would be our only source of mana leeching. So because mana has been ridiculously stable for the last while, I figured out in Dried Lake, let's experiment, let's unspec these 2 points, let's keep the points unassigned, and let's just see where it goes. And I ran an entire Dried Lake with it, had some boss fights, had some warbands, things like that. It all went alright. So by the time you get to Dried Lake, Merciless at least, try to unspec those points and then you can unspec them into something else. We dinged level 75, so that got us to Fervor. And the other 2 points I am now going to assign into Savagery over here to get ourselves another 2 Frenzy charges. So this will complete... Well, actually it's not going to complete it, but it will get us to 5 Frenzy charges and 4 power charges when we are fully maxed up. And there is a really nice bit of synergy there. In terms of Legacy Stones, we will have a Perendus League Stone, we will have a Warband that gives us 4 additional Warbands that all have increased rarity and increased quantity. And we're gonna get a gigantic Tempest of Abundance. So we get 27% increased quantity on top of the Tempest bonus, and the Tempests are going to be larger. So I've been playing with that in Dried Lake and it was pretty darn fun. So let's see what we can get out of this. We get 2% quantity from Zana, and the other things are going to be kind of meh. I mean, there's no point in getting more monster life for a fraction of increased quantity and rarity. I think I can spend those 2 chaos in a better way. So let's get going. I made a small change to my loot filter.
Brutality is the law.
Grr. So this one was actually too low, but the other ones do work. So we don't get a Perendus, but everything else is gonna work. As I was saying, I made a small change to my loot filter. It's because I've been just really needing Orbs of Alteration quite badly. So I've made a change that all the rares that drop are going to be shown now, rather than only the top tier ones that would potentially be equipable. It's also the low tier ones. So there's going to be a lot more rares that you will see. as a direct result of that change to loot filter. And there is a first set of mute winds. So here you go. Keep a decoy totem up. We'll just keep our frenzy charges up. Go for some power charges. Take a step back. Oh. Gonna say, maybe take another step back here. Okay, there's that, there's that. Okay, they are dead. Good. Hey, there's another one. You. Grr, get out. Also, stop murdering my golem. Excellent. Okay, there we are. So as you see, more rares that I'm picking up. Oh, someone curse me. That's hide item, so I actually see the bugger. That is one of the downsides, of course, of showing more items. And there we are. Plunk, 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 plunk. So I think that might have been 2 Warrants packs. Might have. Oop. I currently have a belt lined up that is going to increase our effective life pool by about 100. So that's going to get us from the 3,700 that we are at now to 3,800. Just over 3,800. Problem is that we will be lacking some resistance, lightning resistance. But in exchange we will be getting fire resistance. Or not fire, chaos resistance. Yes, that's the one. But hoping for maybe just one more item that is just gonna overcap my resist a little bit. Maybe an improved ring or an amulet that actually has some resists on it. Oh, another mute wind. Hey, superior death bow. Look, that's Death's Harp. I got one of those. But might have a better roll. But that's kind of funny actually that I find my my weapon again. But full inventory means we're gonna go up and down and empty our pockets. And look at that, we're back in our hideout. It's so awesome. Let's see, how does this compare with what we've got? So it has a higher increased physical damage roll, but it does have a lower increased critical strike chance. The crit chance I rerolled with a Blessed Orb on my current one, so I can do that on this one as well. The increased physical damage, however, is more difficult. So I think you need a Divine Orb for that. That's going to be the Mask, and they are pretty freaking rare. The Blessed Orbs are so, not as rare as Exalts, but they are pretty rare. But Divine Orbs, they are pretty darn rare. Okay, so let's pick up more items and keep going. Yeah, note to self. These things actually hurt quite a bit, so let's just not be near. Grr. Why couldn't this have been a nice happy tempest? No, one that just gives you a bonus damage or something if you stand in it, rather than these thunderstorms. Oh well. Nope. So far we're just dancing around. They do. It really seems to be stalking me. much more than most Tempests seem to do, or maybe it's just the nature of this specific map layout, because there's not a lot of empty space here. It's just really small corridors, and then if it wants to spawn nearby, it's pretty easy for the things to actually hit you. So the Spawn Stalkers are pretty nice to deal with, because they're slow, they're lumbering, and as long as you don't really make silly mistakes, you can easily out-position them. Well, let's rephrase that. Even I have a pretty good chance at out-positioning them, because they are so slow. Though of course it is still pretty easy to just miss it if you're completely not paying attention. Okay, so those Necromancer Scars flammability, that's in my advantage. If it would have been the lightning version of that, conductivity, then of course the synergy with the Tempest would have been bit awful. In this case, it's alright. Oh, there's another pack of mobs. Let's actually hide items. Put up our decoy here. Herald of Storm. Seriously, that's just more shocking revelations upon shocking revelations upon shocking revelations. Stop doing that. Okay, shock mages, sure. So, no decent drops here. That's unfortunate actually. Because those Borwens folks, they really should be dropping the mother load in terms of gear. More flammability, more knuckleheads. Okay, and let's just refresh the golem. For a map with many totems, this is actually pretty light on totems. Oh, nice, a fuse. So I have been trying to 5-link my Death's Harp. Of course, trying to 5-link it and actually succeeding. Two different things. Also, that was a lot of damage that suddenly stacked there. Here, I have a decoy. Okay. And then we'll just pick up some more things. Right. This is pretty much a loot run right now. But as I said, I've been trying to get this one 5-linked. So in order to do that, of course, I want to feed Elrion over here for the daily quest to give him 32 orbs of alteration to get 20 Duelist orbs. Then we have Mr. Assassin over here. 64 Duelist orbs become 20 fuses. And of course, on top of that, you just want to run some Dried Lake or some maps or whatever is reasonably farmable. And then actually get some fuses together and then do some crafting sessions to see if you can actually roll yourself something useful. So far we are still on a 4-link, but if you consider the odds, Furici orb, or if you use Furici to actually craft a 4, 5 or 6-link, it's 5 fuses for a 4-link, it's 150 fuses for a 5-link, and it's 1500 fuses for a 6-link. That means getting a 6-link, don't count on it. getting a 5 link. If you throw in enough fuses, eventually you'll get it. But the emphasis there is more on eventually than on getting it. So if you consider that you can get, what was it, 20 fuses per day from the Furici quest, then that's effectively a week of doing the quest, given all the preconditions that you actually have the items. Shaper possessed Reaver, okay, check. But on the other hand, it does require that you pretty religiously... traps, not a good idea. Okay, positioning here is pretty good. If I am upstairs, I suppose. Well, he also shoots up. Okay, since he walks... Okay, maybe I shouldn't actually be getting hit by those things. Damn, getting bear trapped here, that's really not a good idea. So, move more. That's the advice here. Move more. So if he pins me, I can't get away. So that's why I'm just trying to be really overly cautious and defensive here. And there we are.
The greatest threat, deep in dream, holds the key to another world.
One more lost world. Insignificant.
So there was a prophecy that a specific unique in a specific map would drop a rare map. Well, that was a nice upgrade, and we got ourselves the Shaper upgrade. Also, that was the trap. And now I'm completely out of health flask charges, which is why I was being so cautious. So, Zana, you're now happy. That's just advancement on your quest. But yeah, as I was talking about before, hey, this was actually the last mob remaining. So let's have a look if there was any loot drops from the other things that were nearby. I think it was that. That was that. Exactly. Slink boots. Hey! Wait, I do have uniques, but having some slink boots as a backup in case I decide I am gonna drop it, then it is nice to have some high tier boots. But that means we survived yet another map, and as you see, it got close. One of the biggest problems right now with the build is that our damage output is just not that high. And that is the combination of using a unupgraded Death's Harp. It's pretty low tier, and we really want to get a 5 link on this. And on top of that, maintaining our chargers, currently we have a combination of Frenzy and Shrapnel Shot, and I really need to get a 5 link. I actually need to get 5 sockets on my Zodiac ladder, but eventually that needs to be a 5 link, so that I can just do also get the power charges with Frenzy, and it becomes easier to keep the charges up, keep the cursors up, things like that, and then it's just going to be alternating between 2 skills rather than cycling through Shrapnel Shot to build power charges, Frenzy to build power Frenzy charges, and then just keeping up with Ice Shot, and then every once in a while cycling back to Frenzy at least once to get a hit in to get the Frenzy charge refresh, and Shrapnel shots maybe twice or something in order to actually get a power charge refresh, because of course it is chance based. Currently 51% chance that a crit will actually get a power charge. So yeah, it's a little bit fiddly getting that down to just one skill, 2 skills to keep. One for keeping the charges up, one for actually doing the damage is going to be better. But just upgrading the bow, either the 5-link, then the added cold damage is going to be a massive damage improvement. Alternatively, if we upgrade this one to a Death's Opus, then the Death's Opus is going to add flat damage, and that's going to be a pretty big upgrade in terms of damage. But for now, I'm simply going to thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.